Once again, welcome everyone, and of course, thank you for joining me now on the second half of the morning show today. I want to thank Dion and his guests for bringing on business perspective and making the subject a little more interesting and giving us information we need to be dealing with on a daily basis if we want to make Belize progress and even ourselves as individuals be more aware of what's happening around us. And speaking of that, I have in the studio some guests, and we'll be talking about powerlifting. And in the studios, we have Edith Ruiz, good morning, and Narissa Shaw, and Khalid Usher.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, all of you. And let's find who you are. Let's start with I will break the rule here. Gentlemen first.
That's fine. He's the president, so the best one to go
Khalid,
first.
tell us about yourself. Who are you?
My name is Khalid Usher. I'm the president of Belize Powerlifting. Basically, we govern the sport of powerlifting in the country. It's a very inclusive sport, and we're trying to get out the information about the nationals we have coming up this weekend.
Okay, and Narissa,
Yes.
what do you do in the association?
I am a member of the association, and I assist him in carrying out his duties of planning and everything else that goes along with it. I am also an athlete, but for this competition, I will be judging, so I will be one of the judges at the competition that we're having Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, and Edith?
Hi, my name is Edith Ruiz. I am an athlete and I'm competing in the 57 kilo class for women.
Whoa.
Yes.
So you're all powerlifters?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Khalid, maybe tell us, what is powerlifting?
So powerlifting is basically, it's a sport based entirely on strength. In the sport, we perform squat, bench press, and deadlift, and it's basically at the end of the day to see who's the strongest based on class and category. Like Edith mentioned, there's different weight classes and different age classes. Whichever one people fit into, they go up against each other just to see who's the best.
Okay. You said Narissa, you said you're an athlete, and so you do powerlifting as well?
Yes, I was a part of the team that went out to represent Belize in Panama last August.
Okay.
This year, I'm taking a step back because I'm competing in La Ruta. So that is what I'm working on right now. But a part of my duties with the Powerlifting Association is that I still am assisting, putting in the work behind the scenes to make the event successful.
Interesting that you'll be taking part in La Ruta Maya. And yourself, Edith? You also are an athlete?
Yes. I, as well, with Neri and Khalid, I competed in Panama last year. This year, I'm just competing as well for the nationals, and I am helping also with because it's a 2-day event, so I will be competing on Saturday, and then on Sunday, I'll be assisting with the men.
Okay, this is powerlifting is basically a strength type sport. Is it a Olympic sport? I don't think it is yet, right?
Not yet. It's
Not
recognized by the Olympic Committee. So when they have the international events, it's live streamed on the Olympic platform. It follows all the same guidelines as it would any other Olympic sport. We have drug testing. We have different statutes and rules we have to follow and different things like that.
Right. Do you have any, like maybe Facebook, YouTube, or anything there?
Yeah.
Maybe I could ask the MCO to look up something and show those of us or those of our listeners, viewers, who have no idea what it's all about. It has to do with barbells, obviously, and that's where, but it all has to do with power.
Yeah.
And it's 3 basic exercises, as far as I know, right?
Yeah.
Or lifting. Those are bench press, squat, and the deadlift. The ladies, you obviously participate in this as well, but you participate in your own weight class.
So I am in a higher weight class. My weight class that I compete in is the 76 kg, and Edith competes at a lower weight class in the 56. And so this is just to make the competition a little bit more even, because the heavier, the more, the bigger the athlete is, naturally they will be lifting heavier than a smaller athlete.
Of course.
And so it is classified according to weight and according to age as well, because the younger athletes, they have their own section called the junior, and then the older athletes, there's a section called the masters. And so everything is set up in a way to make it as unbiased as possible.
But it all boils down to how much you lift, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, so that's what we train. We train to lift the most we can safely.
Yeah, we're showing on the screen, yes, basically for those who are not familiar with the sport, what it is. So how do you prepare for something like this? How do you prepare to be a...
Well, preparation, like what you and the audience probably seeing on the screen, is just going into the gym and putting in the work. Like any other sport, we have to train appropriately. There's different. We have trainers, and with typical training, we have like a scheme we have to follow. We usually call it programming, and we have everything is done calculated. So we have sets by reps and different stuff we have to do that. It's very scientific in the approach, and once you follow the program, it usually ends up. The benefits and the outcome for it is usually doing well at the competition.
But some of us are stronger than others, aren't we?
Yes.
I mean, basically.
I feel like everything, there are people that have natural talent for ball, for weightlifting, for powerlifting as well.
That's right.
And so the association has trainers that it recommends. And there's trainers in Belize City. For example, we work with Kinetic Fitness. So Mr. Tom Sai from Kinetic Fitness, if you're in Belize City and you need a trainer, he would be one of the persons we'd recommend. Khalid is a trainer as well. We have Kaelon in Belmopan, myself in Belmopan. And so the reason why I would recommend hiring a trainer when you're just entering or starting powerlifting is the same thing as what Khalid said. It's because you won't max out, you won't test your PR, we call it PR, personal record. You won't do the most you can do every single day. It's calculated, and the trainer is also trained to look at your, we call it RPE, but to look at the intensity, to look at you to see how you're moving. And because sometimes, especially for females, depending which time of the month, a weight that is usually easy might appear to be heavy. And so a well-trained eye, like Khalid's or any of the other trainers, they will be able to see that and to adjust or to take the athlete down a notch when needed to, and to also push them a little bit more when needed as well.
How do you, Edith, how do you train? I mean...
Coming into competition, I would have to train 5 days a week. And when I'm off season, then I would do 4 days a week. But it's every day religiously, doing the 3 lifts, the bench press, the squat, the deadlift, and also doing accessory movements that will help target the muscle groups that are used for that, or whatever is weak, let's say. Yeah, but it's basically every day. Boring, you would say, boring exercises, but that's what gets you to lift the most that you can.
When it comes to barbells, you have the bodybuilder and you have the powerlifter.
Yes.
And it's a known fact that the bodybuilders are in many ways not as strong as the powerlifters. But the body structure, you will notice, are different.
Yes.
The powerlifters,
it's a different type of training.
Usually.
I've done both. That's why I'm familiar with it. I understand. I don't know if they still do that, you know. You need to eat more.
Yeah.
The more fat you can have in your system, because they say the mixture of fat and muscle is stronger than just muscle. Is that still a fact? Is that still true?
Again, right now, every time, I think every year, currently, because the sport is improving, more people are getting involved. Any sport that has greater amounts of people, the sport evolves. No, we're finding out that part of the weight class is on different categories. A world class athlete for powerlifting can look many different ways, and that's changing in the sport.
Right.
There's people that are small, there's people that are larger. For instance, I'm in the 93 weight class, right? I won't lift as much as someone that's in a higher weight class than I am, but because the sport is so scientific in its approach, we're almost like boxing, how they say, how they put the best pound for pound fighter or something like that. You can still gauge one lifter against the next. We have a specific scientific calculation for it called the IPF point system. So we can put our numbers in a calculator and it can basically put up against each other. So it's like almost like a GPA of sorts.
That's why when Narissa mentioned she's going to be in the Ruta Maya, won't that affect your powerlifting abilities? One is endurance and power.
I didn't want to talk about La Ruta because we're here for powerlifting.
No, but we're talking about training for it. You know?
It's like right now I'm in the lower 5% that can do cardio and lift weights. But I switched from powerlifting the minute we got back from Panama, and I started my entire training regime is completely different right now. And so I'm training for La Ruta, and La Ruta, the week after La Ruta finishes, then I switch back to powerlifting. So meaning I will start to do the same thing that Edith is doing, focus on my
that's what I was getting at. It's a different training, and it does affect one affects the other.
Yeah, so like right now I could not, the reason why I'm not competing in the competition is because I'm not competition ready. I could not be lifting 300 pounds and then still paddling every weekend.
But the next thing, what's really beautiful about the sport is, at the end of the day, it makes you stronger. There's a lot of people that powerlift and probably don't even know they're powerlifting, and it improves their lives. I think our oldest competitor this year is 74. He competed last year and he came back again. He really enjoys competing. And then again, part of the sport is you're stronger, you're able to do more. So what I can imagine that went into what can probably help Narissa's training with the La Ruta Maya is that the fact that she's a stronger individual because of the sport. Right?
It just has to retweak her muscles.
You just retweak. You just retweaking,
it's an endurance as opposed to resistance and endurance.
There's also a lot of strength in my connecting tissues, and because over the years of powerlifting, your body, your bones, your connective tissues, your joints get stronger because you're under tension when you're doing your powerlifting. So that advantage I could see, whereas other people, I've heard about people dislocating their arms when they were practicing for La Ruta and having joint issues, but the benefits of powerlifting, I don't have those issues.
Edith, should women be doing powerlifting?
Yes.
If you ask me. What benefits do you find?
Honestly, it's my escape. I am a pharmacist and I love everything about pharmacy, but the other thing that I love the most is powerlifting and training every day. You know, I wake up 5 o'clock every day and I make it to gym 5:30, and to me, after training, I feel like I can start the day really good. I feel amazing being able to lift and surpass my limits, setting goals. I have my coach that asked me beginning of the year, you know, what's my goal? And I love setting these goals with him and working towards that and achieving that. And even for competition, you know, winning something, it's all worth it. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And it gives you a lot of confidence, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Do you find that it helps in your pharmacy work?
Yes. A lot, actually, because you have to have a healthy lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be perfect then, but you do need to eat right, you need to sleep well to see great results then. And even while preparing, you need supplements. So all of this, I connected with pharmacy, and I would recommend or suggest all these tips that I learned with exercising and training, and even in the mental aspect, like I apply that to pharmacy a lot. Yeah.
I see.
And the way how I interact with the patients and my advice to them.
Yeah, and if anyone get trouble, they'll throw 'em outside.
Yes. Yes.
Diet. When you're a power lifter, is it different from a runner's diet or a bodybuilder's diet?
Well, for the diet, again, it varies by person to person what you're trying to fit. Again, the sport in itself is very inclusive. It really caters for everyone's individual lifestyle. Like Edith mentioned, it's not one of those sports where it's like it's the sole thing we do is sport lifting. Many of the people, especially our top lifters, have day jobs. They're bankers, they're pharmacists, nurses. There's even I think there's even two of the highest level women's athletes. They're preschool teachers. It's people you see every day, and so we're, I'm sure a lot of people, especially Belizeans, who wouldn't be willing to give up something like a rice and beans. You know, you had that tough day of work, you want to get
But
home.
a rice and beans would be good for you.
A rice
as
and beans
a
would be
powerlifter.
good for you, right?
It may not be good for you if you want to show your six-pack.
Yeah.
But as a powerlifter,
I feel like it also depends which weight class you want to fit into. Because, for example, he could easily start packing on weight and compete at 120 plus, which is the highest weight class. But he wants to stay in his weight class, and so he can eat his rice and beans every now and then, but he won't eat so much as to gain, because he has his level, his weight class that he's competing in. And likewise myself, so if I would want to go to a lower weight class, then that is where a diet would come in for me or him. If both of us would say, all right, we're going to go to a lower weight class, we would have to diet to get there. We would have to do a efficient diet so as to lose the weight but not lose the strength. So that in itself is a other science.
So you could juggle that. You could keep the strength, but you go to a lower weight class, so you're stronger in that weight class, and you would be in a higher weight class.
There's people who have that, and there's people who could be stronger in a higher weight class than they were in a lower weight class. So it's
which we see in the heavyweights.
Yeah, it's about you listening to your body and choosing what is best for you.
Hurting yourself.
We don't hurt ourselves.
Exactly.
Well, that's not the goal.
No,
that's not the goal. And
because besides the weight and the class, the technique is very important.
Yes.
And this is why, again, we
Picking up things over your head, even if only to your knee, you have to know how to do it, because certain muscles you're going to apply to do that. How do you keep yourself safe?
Well, to keep ourselves safe is, again, like you said, it goes down to technique. For young to old, everyone in the sport is judged the same way, and so everyone is expected to be held at the same standard. If that standard is held up, then especially what's happening this weekend is that our youngest competitor is Neri's son, actually, and he's 13 years old. If you can start from that early on and experience longevity in the sport, as long as you have solid technique, right? Again, young, old, the sport is inclusive and the sport is safe.
Well, you mentioned you have a 4-year-old. 4-year-old, and I think this has helped him. Because your muscles then stay strong, they don't atrophy.
The bones get strong.
So tell us about the competition. Obviously, it's quite popular. You just mentioned
it's growing.
People in different careers are powerlifters. Yeah, so what's it looking like?
It grows every year. I believe this year is a step up from last. We have exactly 34 people competing this year.
Okay.
It grew so much that all the prior years we had the competition in just one day, and this year we have to have it over the course of 2 days. So on Saturday we're having the women's only, and then on Sunday we're having the men only.
Where is it?
It'll be right here in Belize City.
Yeah, it'll be in Belize City at the SJC Gymnasium.
Oh, the SJC Gymnasium.
So we want to encourage viewers who would like to come and see. The cost is $10 for entrance if you're older than 15.
Yeah.
And $5 for 15 and below. And so we also have a lot of juniors this year, which is amazing. Kinetic Fitness, they have an entire squad. We have, how many juniors do we have, Khalid?
I believe this year we have it's split almost in half. So we have about 14 or 15 juniors, sub-juniors competing.
And juniors mean less than 21.
Oh, less than 21.
And sub-juniors is less than 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're excited about that.
If you want to do this, and how do I get in contact with you, and what advice would you give me? Because you just can't walk in and pick up something, you know.
My first advice would be just to find a strong support group. If you see someone in the gym, I think there's someone, at this point, there's someone in every gym that powerlifts in the country. You can message the page, find us on Instagram at Belize Powerlifting Association, the same on Facebook. We can direct you to those persons just so you can build a community in your gym if you'd like to learn. Again, the sport is inclusive. Anyone, you can start at any age and be successful. Again, at the end of the day, it's about improving yourself and becoming the strongest you're capable of, right?
Would you recommend it just as a fitness regime?
We have people like that. We have Miss
Just come in
Yeah.
and pick up, because that's what you're doing, right? You're strengthening your body.
You're strengthening the body. Again, I know, like, especially like when you're working with people who are just starting out and they're having the rapid improvement into what they're capable of. You have those moments where they're like excited to come in the day because they have something to tell you, and they're telling you things like, oh, today I picked up a 5-gallon for the first time by myself, or there's just little things like that that makes improvement in strength exhilarating, it's exciting, right? Because you have things you weren't able to do before in your everyday life that you're able to do now, and that in itself is its own reward.
Because powerlifting strengthens your major muscle groups, actually. You know, your back, for instance, your legs, which you're going to need when you get old.
Yeah.
You're going to need those too.
Yeah.
But how do you begin? I mean, you've never picked up anything heavier than your laptop or things like that?
I would suggest you reach out to the page, to the Belize Powerlifting page on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
You can send them a message expressing your interest to start. And from there, someone will answer you, and they will ask you follow-up questions like which part of the country you are, and if you have a trainer and stuff. And from there, they will be able to point you in the right direction.
But I would say, because the way how I started, I used to be involved in sports in high school, so I had a little bit of something. But I did join the gym. I wanted to join the gym, and so I did just basic strength training. Doesn't have to go straight into deadlifts, squats, and all of that. Just adding weights to your workouts. That will strengthen the muscles, and then later on you can start adding powerlifting. But then again, you need a trainer that can help you for it.
When you go into competition, how do you decide that extra half pound or pound little? Because you know your limit, right?
And I was just gonna say,
and I've seen this happen, that they know their limit, but they will try just to win the competition.
It's a balance between wanting to win your weight class and knowing what you are capable of. So if Edith is lifting 300 pounds, I don't think she will put 400. She does. But I don't...
Deadlift?
Deadlift, okay.
Yes.
So I don't think she would put 400 for her last attempt because it's a whole 100 pounds more.
No.
But if she's doing 300, she might do like a little 5 more or 10 more. Maybe she go to 350.
Increments are in 5, right?
Increments are in 5. Again, I liken it to like basketball in a way where coming down to like the last 20 seconds of the game, you either take the 2 points and go to overtime, or you risk it and take the 3-pointer and win the game. No. At the end of the day, that's the other part that's exciting about competing, because when you're competing, you have a handler with you that puts in numbers for you, and that's a whole other competition itself against handlers versus handlers, team against team, and you have to put in the right number. You can even use it to like scare your opponents, put in something heavier than you're expected to do, and then change it last minute. That's another exciting part of the competition.
But all in all, powerlifting is a very inclusive sport, and it's like a family-oriented sport, and so we engage and we support all the other athletes from all the other gyms across the country and vice versa. And it's nice coming into the environment and having the support from everyone, and being able to reach out to everyone for questions, to share your excitement, because a lot of time the average gym goer, the average person might not be able to grasp the excitement of how you feel when you hit a PR. And so it's good to have this community that we have built to reach out to them and to be able to share everything with them.
And just to add on to the conversation about community, the reason we're having the nationals is to qualify our athletes to go international. And even at international competitions, you notice like people you compete against, like people I compete against, like people go into the competition, you follow them on Instagram, you follow each other, or like you block each other, whatever, just to keep up the facade and things like that. But at the end of the competition, you end up going out for drinks together in it or something like that.
What kind of drinks?
Water.
Juice.
We go for juice. But you build that community, especially when you meet friends abroad. Eventually, when you get more and more involved into the sport, you meet people abroad. Like right now, I have some people like we joke around after the competition, like, oh yeah, if they come to Belize, they have somewhere to stay. If I go to their country, I have somewhere to stay and things like that. So you build camaraderie locally and internationally when you compete in the sport.
How are we fitting in internationally, or at least regionally? How are we doing?
Well, so far, like you said, 3 of us are competing in Panama, and we did really well. I believe, if I remember correctly, 6 out of the 8 athletes we sent to Panama came back with medals, and we ranked in the highest of the countries in North America at the competition according to medal winnings. And so, again, every year our athletes are improving. We're looking to send a bigger team to the North American Championships Afro Nationals this year, which is in Cayman Islands. And hopefully not hopefully, but definitely we'll bring back more medals for the country.
How are we, which is our strongest weight class? Heavy, light?
I think, again, it's evenly
Do
distributed
we have
across.
heavyweights like some of these international stars?
Yeah, we have across the board. Again, I'm 93. One of our other medalists, one of our athletes that's going to the closest upcoming international competition is the World Classic Championships, and we have, I believe, myself and him are going, and he's in the 120 class.
Okay.
Right. So both him and I are going to that competition, and we're hoping to do really well at it.
Well, you know, we deal with pounds around here. What's your weight class in pounds?
93. So my weight cap is 205.
205.
And the 120 weight cap is 264.
You with 205 pounds?
Yeah.
You're quite
Muscle is heavier than fat.
Exactly.
Muscle is heavier than fat. Yeah.
Exactly. It does show. And what's your weight class in
My
pounds?
weight class in pounds is 163.
Okay.
Well, I weigh 163.
So you could bench press see like 2 times.
More than that.
And of course, Edith, what's it?
125.
125 pounds.
Yeah.
What's your competition look like in Central America?
In Central America, we did North America for Panama, and like you said, we brought back 6 out of 8 medals, and the competition was good. What's also worth mentioning too is that the Belize Powerlifting Association, we're responsible for our jurisdiction for here, but we're also tied to the International Powerlifting Federation, which means that when we bring back medals, it's not biased, and it's not just favoritism. It's like we bring back the medals that because we earn them, because we train them, because compared to these other countries, we really are strong. And so we're looking for new talent. We're looking for new people who are getting in, who have the capability and who would want to excel, so that we can take them with us to these other countries, and so that we can continue to bring more attention to Belize and put Belize on the map.
Okay, so it's this Saturday and Sunday?
This Saturday and Sunday. Saturday being the females, Sunday the males.
Okay.
And we want to encourage the public to come out. To
What time?
It starts at 9.
9, yeah.
Starts 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
About how long would it take the whole?
I believe
Generally.
the women's we're dealing with, again, we have to run through the squat, bench, and deadlift. So for the women, we're looking to wrap it up by 1 o'clock, and for the men, we're looking to wrap it up by 3.
Okay. How many women are participating?
For women, we have 14 women competing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So just you will be competing.
Yes.
Yes.
You're competing against who?
I'm not sure if the other young ladies are in my class because I don't know if they're in open. Are they, Colin? The 57 class?
The others
I just going to ask you who you have to look out for, you know. She'll be listening, I say,
It's only me. I have 2 other young ladies in my class, but they are sub-juniors. I'm not sure if they're competing in the open as well, but yeah, 2 other girls in my class.
Okay, what's your strength? Bench press? Which one is it? Deadlift? Squat?
Deadlift.
What do you deadlift?
I deadlift more than 300 pounds. Yeah.
Impressive.
315. I squat around 275.
Wow.
And I bench press
She could squat you?
145 pounds. Yeah.
Bench press 145 pounds?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very impressive for
And yourself, Narissa? When you're in
when
powerlifting mode?
When I were in powerlifting mode, I squatted 315, deadlift 340, and bench press 155.
And yourself?
He's like both of us combined.
I think right now the best I've done on squat is 650.
Squat is 650.
Yeah. Bench press 365 and deadlift 685.
Yeah. What's the record for the deadlift right now?
In my weight class. In my weight class, it's crazy. Again, when you get to the higher level of the sport, which we're trying our best to, we will reach towards, it gets crazy. The world records for my weight class right now is in the squat, it's 740, bench press 520, and deadlift 820 pounds. Right? And that's by variable persons. So someone has a squat record, someone has the bench record, and someone has a deadlift record.
Yeah. Well, guys, congratulations for loving what you do. And all the best of luck. And of course, guys, it is a good form of exercise. It is. And it does strengthen your body and your muscles, which is quite important. Well, Edith, Narissa, and of course, Khalid, all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be seeing you at SJC Gym Saturday and Sunday. Folks, we'll be right back. Stay with us. We'll continue the morning show in a few minutes.